Welcome to Crucible Arms again. I'm going to do another video review today, and believe it or not, I've got a lot of people that are asking me about this particular weapon right here. This is the Armscor, or the Rock Island Armory M1911-A1. It's the military version. And so we're going to talk about what you get from this gun versus what you would get from this gun. Previously reviewed fantastic Ruger SR1911, which, as you know, is one of my favorites. But the main difference between these two guns, and we'll go through those, are the feature sets and the style. And a lot of that's very intentional because this is the military style M1 version. There are some differences. It's not a pure M1 in that it's got the flat mainspring housing as opposed to the bump out, and a couple of other differences as well. But you know, here you're talking about a $400 pistol, more or less. Whereas here, you're talking about a $700 pistol. This is a $400 pistol you can get almost anywhere all day long. This is a $700 pistol that you may have to wait 2 or 3 months for. So a lot of the decision making in terms of what you want to go with are going to be determined by not only the price but the availability. And I have to say, I wasn't expecting to be really impressed with this handgun, and I am. And is it the same as the Ruger? No, it's not. But there are some really interesting things about this particular handgun that I like a lot. First and foremost, the machining on it is really quite good. The tolerances between the slide and the frame are very good. It's got a really nice action. It's got a terrific trigger. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. Again, these have all been safety checked, so nothing to worry about there, nothing in the chamber. They were all checked before we went into production here. So let's talk about some of the features on this handgun. One of the first things you'll notice, it's got the traditional military style sights. It's 45 ACP, so it's the classic caliber, obviously. It has the regular thumb safety. In other words, it's not extended. It's the regular original style. Very nice positive lock. It's one of the things that I look for on any 1911 that I handle. It's a big clue in terms of the quality of the piece is, does this move or not? Does it have a positive engagement or doesn't it? And this one does. So, hands off or kudos for that. It's also got a traditional slide stop. It's also got the military style trigger, the traditional trigger, which sits further back and is not skeletonized. You can see on the 1911 it's got a skeletonized. It also sticks out further, and it also has the traditional hammer. So again, it does not have the skeletonized hammer, but has the traditional hammer on it. Thumb safety, or I'm sorry, the grip safety, both incorporate that, but this one of course has the extended Beavertail. This doesn't. Now you still don't get hammer bite because it's long enough, but another key difference between the two. These are manufactured by Armscor, Philippine company. There's 3 different manufacturers of 1911s that come out of the Philippines. They've been doing it for years and years. I believe this particular model has been in production down there since the early 50s, but Armscor's been around since before the war. In fact, the Japanese invaded the island 3 weeks after the new owners took over the business back then. But anyway, so they've been producing them for a long time, do a very nice job, and they do all of their own machining, castings, and so everything you're seeing here is coming out of the Philippines, but it's really nice quality. I'm very impressed with it. Let's talk about the trigger a little bit. It's one of the things that really impresses me about this particular firearm, and what that is it has a very crisp trigger pull. Not much pressure, and it's very clean. Very little travel. There's the amount of travel on the trigger, so it's easy to stage, and then a very clean break. So one of the things that really impresses me about this handgun is the trigger. I was not expecting it to be as good as it is. Traditional wood grips, regular slotted screws, again to keep the cost down. But as you know, on 1911s, these are easy enough to change out, and you can put any style grip on there that you want if you want to jazz up the gun a little bit and make it look a little special for you, personalize it. It is a parkerized finish. It's not blued, but it's a nice parkerized finish. They've done a nice job on it. So again, traditional is not extended thumb safety. There's not an extended slide release on it. Traditional hammer, the traditional military style trigger. There's no extension on the mag release. Again, that's a typical mag release. It does come with an 8-round mag. So it comes with 1 magazine and 8 rounds. So it's not the traditional 7 plus the 8. So it does extend a little bit out of the bottom of the grip. but nothing that's untoward by any stretch of the imagination. Internally, it's a 70 series. We'll take it down real quick in a minute here and show you exactly what it looks like inside, because that's where you'll get a feel for the real quality of this particular piece. And again, for $400, this is a lot of firearm. So let's do a field strip of the gun, but before I do that, there are a couple of nice features that they put on here that you wouldn't expect in a firearm in this price range. First off, there is a slight bevel to the mag well, so it makes it easier to get the magazine in. Nice touch. As you know, most of them in this price range are flat. And they have done the traditional, I shouldn't say traditional, the a-traditional. They've lowered and flared the ejection port. So again, a couple nice touches that they've done to the to a $400 gun that you generally find in a higher price gun. So let's go ahead and take it down. All right, we've got it all stripped down, so let's take a look at some of the features and what they've done here. It does have the traditional recoil spring setup, so it's the short rod and cap situation, which I like. Traditional barrel that's been very nicely machined. I mean, the machining work on this is really nice. Again, not something that you'd necessarily expect to find in a $400 gun. And it really shows up here in the slide. I mean, if you look down in there, and again, I don't know how well it's showing up, but no machining marks, very clean. And that's where I look for the quality in terms of a piece is, how is it machined as well as how does the fit and finish work. And very, very nice machining. You'll notice again it's a 70 series slide. There are, and I say again because the Ruger SR1911 has the same thing, there is no firing pin block on this particular model, and I prefer that. If you're looking for a good solid 1911, a good shooter, and you're in the $400 price range, this is a lot of gun for $400. I would highly recommend it, and I honestly didn't think I would. So appreciate your stopping by Crucible Arms, and we'll see you next time.